We have had some technical problems.
Hit it! You are connected to Ace TJ 5G. Ace TJ, Riggins, Alexis, Tech D-Rob. Live from the Calatrend Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Oh, yeah, here we are. Wait, the excitement of the big voice introduction thing didn't match up with the excitement in my voice as the one speaking right after his. So maybe tomorrow he can calm his down a little bit. Because I don't see myself getting very much more excited than I am now.
I had not heard that yet. That was lit.
It was what?
If I may. It was lit.
What?
If I may.
Well, yes. Yes, you may.
Thank you.
You can call it Liddy even if you want.
I didn't want to go that far.
That was
I didn't
Liddy.
think I was cool enough to say it was Liddy.
And fatty.
Well, you're shaking your head, Riggins. I'm not cool enough to say Liddy. I'm not. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I mean,
No.
Unless it's preceded by the word and the initial G. Gordon.
Totally different situation.
G.
there.
Gordon,
So cool.
Liddy.
I love when we come back from vacation because I was sitting here this morning and Rob was in the other room and I heard doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. And through the door I hear Riggins' voice. What's the code?
what is the code on the door? Oh my God.
I was like, oh.
It just throws me. I'm like, oh, this dumb code.
In
Gotta
one
remember-
week you've already forgotten the code?
Yeah. I never have to type that in. It's always unlocked, but today it was locked. Got to keep our...
Oh, that's right. Because normally we unlock the door when we get here.
Yeah.
We forgot about it today.
Yeah, I had to ask Rob for it the other night. But it was the Thursday night when we had been working without a break, so I should know it.
Yeah, you've been here earlier in the day that
Yeah.
day. Yeah, I've gotten here before. I've come to do stuff and had to text Rob because I can't remember the code to the. There's two codes, one to the door in this building and then one to our particular door here. And I've gotten there and couldn't remember the code to the outside door. And like 6 o'clock at night, try to text Rob, hey, what's the code to the outside? The outside door, not our door.
Oh, gosh. It's like Fort Knox.
You're right though. It's amazing. You've been gone for a few days and you come back and it's like everything's out of whack when you
Yeah.
first come back. It just seems weird.
That's my seatbelt thing. Like when you try to pull your seatbelt and it gets snagged out of your hand. To me, that door lock is you go to open the door and it doesn't open. You're just like, unlock, work, open your door. Please open.
And Riggins has been sick the whole time we've been on vacation.
Yeah.
And Alex has a sick-looking Kiss hoodie on. It matches her nails today.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Look at that. I'm swagging today.
So you must have had a good vacation. You know, I know you did a lot of working for your boyfriend,
Yeah, don't say that.
as he's your,
He's
your
not my
new
boss.
boss.
He's not my new boss.
Yeah.
He's
He
El
thinks he is.
Patron.
You're
Is what he is.
You are his employee
Yeah,
now.
no.
Yeah.
Please do not say that.
He is El Patron.
Doing what?
I'm working on the food truck.
Oh, you were working on the food truck?
yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Been working on the food truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like changing the oil in it.
Really?
Yeah. Keeping it greased.
Yup, all that.
Like working the fryers and stuff?
Yeah, and
Really?
taking orders, all that.
No way.
The only thing I haven't done is actually like make the sandwiches, but yeah, everything else.
So he has gotten to the point of letting you do the actual
I
food
don't
prep.
want to do that. He can
This week
keep
you're
doing
mopping
that.
floors. Next week it's the fries.
Yeah, exactly.
What Kanye said?
There you go. That's what you're doing.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
All right, so people are still reacting to all the excitement that was Coachella over the weekend. Weekend one of Coachella happened. Every celebrity goes to it. Frank Ocean is the top trending topic. He was the headliner last night. But I think one of the celebrity stories to come out is that, how do you say it? Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes are back together. They were spotted making out. I like them as a couple.
Does that mean they're back together or were they just spotted making out? Like they ran into each other and kind of, hooked up for the night or something, hanging out.
The celebrity sources have framed it as they are back together.
Because
So
I
I
made
don't
out
know.
with a lot of people that I wasn't together with.
Your exes?
It's happened.
Really? Really interesting. So they might get back together. Who knows? But Justin Bieber and Haley were up there. I mean, there's a whole celebrity scene at Coachella this weekend. A lot of interesting outfits. Going on.
I cannot open TikTok without seeing, and then maybe it's the side of TikTok that I'm on, but that Blink 182, the opening of that show
Blink-182.
is everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
That's Ace talk.
Yeah. And and then I give him credit. The opening of that show was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a woman on TikTok that was explaining how influencers go out to Coachella just to take pictures and they don't even stay for the concert. And then everybody pointed out, yeah, everybody knows that. We know that. They don't don't care about going to the show.
Yeah.
They're going to
It's
get
about
pictures.
the outfits.
Yeah. It's about the outfits.
Outfits and your backdrop. That's
exactly.
it.
So
But I mean, in defense of the performers and all, the music does suck.
it's awful.
No, there's always good music out there.
The Love is Blind reunion is trending this morning because, so I talked about this a few weeks ago. This was set to be Netflix's second live streaming event, the first being that Chris Rock special a few weeks ago. So last night was supposed to be the reunion. If you've never watched Love is Blind, it's a Netflix show, dating show. They were supposed to do this live reunion, and it was supposed to start, I think, at 9.
8 Eastern.
8, and it didn't happen. They were having some technical issues, so Netflix went ahead and posted on social media to everyone who stayed up late, woke up early, gave up their Sunday afternoon. We're incredibly sorry that the Love is Blind reunion did not happen as we had planned. We're filming it now. We'll have it on Netflix as soon as humanly possible. And again, thank you.
So
they said
a couple of things. It's
Yeah.
due out today at noon.
Yeah.
So it's gonna post today at noon. But I was totally sucked into this last night because my wife has watched Love is Blind all the way through.
Yeah.
Was into it. So we went ahead because it was 8 o'clock, got in bed to watch the thing, and it didn't start. And I gave it till about 8:45. I was like, I'm going to sleep. I've had it with this. But I started looking on Twitter, and some great tweets came out of it. The Cheesecake Factory commented under a Netflix tweet about it. It's coming soon. And they said, this wait is as long as our menu, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, it was 45 minutes, and I gave it up.
disaster.
Yeah.
Nice try, Netflix. You're probably going to sink.
And then have it up as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, I mean, like it takes a whole lot of work to get the Love is Blind reunion film. Give me a break.
So what other
Seriously.
species is going to help them?
Yeah, good point.
You know,
Yeah,
we get it up as soon as K9 possible.
exactly. So dumb. Oh, and speaking of other animals and things like that, happy National Crawfish Day. Today's
Oh.
National
Oh, I
Crawfish
didn't know
Day.
Y'all love crawfish.
They do
That's
love-
like the national animal of Louisiana.
The national animal of Louisiana.
There you go.
You heard it here first. The national
Exactly.
animal of Louisiana.
Of the country of Louisiana.
That bears repeating.
That's right.
Yup.
That was brilliant. So celebrate however you will. And those are a few things that are now trending.
Couple of things. One, a middle school teacher has just gone off the rails. If you're a parent, this will freak you out to hear what happened at this one middle school and make you do a little checking on what's happening at your kid's middle school. Two, there's a guy who's being dragged all over social media. I mean, dragged a lot just because he loves Disney World. He's not hurting anybody. Why, Ricketts? Why do you make that face?
I mean, it's a weird situation.
It's a little weird. We'll let you judge for yourself. Next.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So there's a guy that's being, completely dragged on the internet. Riggins found this guy. So kind of give us some of the backstory.
It's a single guy. He's got no kids. He works a remote job, and he said for a few weeks out of every year, he goes to Disney World and works remotely from there. But he also goes to all the parks and rides the rides, eats there. And people are like, this is the downfall of our society.
So
is
give
basically what they
give
say.
you a background with this. He talks about how he stays off site because he saves money. He offers a lot of tips to people. Like, hey, he stays at this one hotel and uses points, and he said it's cheaper than staying at the park, and it's only a 10-minute drive from the park. And he talks about this other service that allows him to, you have like a little crate for $190 a year, so he can store his toiletries and keep clothes and everything there. He can make most of his trips from Cleveland with a backpack. And here he is talking about some of the other stuff that he does on his trips.
In Orlando. They give you a bin and they'll deliver it and pick it up from your hotel for a flat yearly fee of $190, but there are cheaper plans available. Since I store some of my clothing and toiletries in there, I can often make these trips from Cleveland with just my backpack. Typically, I work from my hotel room, but if I need a change of scenery, there are a few spots at Disney World which are great for remote working, like the lobby of the Wilderness Lodge. I'm able to shift my hours earlier so that I can hit the parks in the afternoon after I've wrapped up my work for the day. When I go to the parks, I often go for dinner, and I record all these videos that you've seen me posting. Have any of you ever worked remotely from Disney World? I'd love to hear what tips you've got.
So it just shows him going around doing this stuff, and people are like, this is the end of the world.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it is weird. What are you doing?
But
He doesn't hurt. He's not hurting anyone.
But it's weird.
but he
It's odd.
he is the exact personality type that would love Disney World that much to want to go all the time. Just seems like the perfect personality that would do that.
Maybe.
Alone.
Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, goes
Alone.
all by himself.
Like on a ride. You're riding a roller coaster in the singles
sad.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
with
got
all
pictures of him. He's at videos that he shoots on the roller coaster. He's like waving to the camera on the roller coaster.
my-
and everything.
I mean, I guess it takes all kinds. And God bless you, you're having fun. But it's weird. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
It
And
is weird.
That's any adult that is that obsessed with Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people would put him in the weird category.
Yeah.
Peculiar.
Peculiar.
There is a substitute teacher in Texas who, and I love the way they put this, may be facing some legal trouble after she turned her middle school classroom into Fight Club. The only reason she was caught is because a student took a video of the incident. This is a parent of one of the students, Beatriz Martinez, explaining how she feels about her middle school student's classroom being turned into Fight Club.
I was devastated. I was like, I couldn't watch the full video. I had to stop it multiple times because I didn't think it was real. I said, this must be a prank. This is not real. Who in their right mind? Because I trust my child to go to school, but I also trust the staff to keep my kids safe.
I mean, she has a point.
Well, those kids broke the first rule. You don't talk about it.
Exactly. Other than that, aside from that, though, Rob, the teacher is still at fault, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. The kids broke the rules.
Yes. It'd be like coming to work every day and go, Ricky, you and Rob, y'all gonna fight for us today?
Hell
And
yeah.
it's like, you and Rob, winner get the day off. Let's see what
yeah.
happens. We're just gonna sit here and watch. Everybody, put your phones down. Don't film it.
She was having the kids fight each other?
Yeah. In middle school classroom, it's like a fight club.
It's fine.
And why? Was it? Were they already,
They didn't give a reason. No reason
arguing
given.
with each other and all that? And
No reason given. She hasn't made any type of a statement so far. It's still under investigation to find out exactly what's happening to see what she can be charged with.
Man, teachers are getting all kinds of attention lately.
A substitute
For
teacher.
going viral and doing crazy things.
Yikes.
And this is kind of fun. There's a guy in Oregon. There's a catch to this, though. He wanted to bless others. So he took $200,000 out of his bank account. Impressed he had $200,000 in a bank account to begin with. His name is Colin Davis McCarthy. And he started just driving down the road, blessing others by throwing money out the window. Here are a couple of witnesses talking about what happened.
This guy was driving up and down I-5, dropping out tons of cash.
Some friends called me and said that they got $2,000.
We have one of the people who picked up the large sum of cash, $1,800 worth, pulled over to the side of I-5 wanting to know what to do with the money.
So that was the police dispatcher at the end. Somebody was asking, like, hey, did this come off? Somebody called the cops and, hey, did this come off of a bank truck or whatever? Should I turn this in?
I can't with these people.
They were being honest people.
Still,
They were being honest.
I know, but you didn't even. There was no money truck. So okay, if there was a money truck and the money fell off, I get it. All right, turn the money in. But there was no money truck.
But that's what
You're
they're
still
trying
going to call the cops.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to find out.
Keep
Like, hey,
that money and be quiet.
they were like, hey, I just found a bunch of money on the side of the road. Does anybody report it stolen? Here's the catch to the whole thing, though. This Colin Davis McCarthy, not the only person on that bank account. So his other family members are like, whoa, hold on a minute. He can't do that. And the cops have told him, yeah, he can. It's legal.
It's legal to throw money out on an interstate?
Yes, but they're saying, the family members are saying, hey, we need that. We want that money back. And they want to, and the family members want to press charges. And they're like, nope, his name is on the account. He's not in any legal trouble whatsoever.
Something about that seems weird.
Yeah, but think about it. It'd be like if you and I shared an account, Riggins, and me, you, and Alexis, we all share an account. And Alexis decides one day to just take, half the money and drive down the road and hand it out to people on the side of the road. There's nothing you can do about it because everybody's name is on the account.
Don't worry, Riggins, I would never do that.
Unbelievable hypothetical.
I think if Ace, Riggins, and Alexis have a bank account together, it's probably like $40 top.
That's the biggest problem.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all are the ones who have been left behind.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You were right. I saw something this morning that immediately made me think of TJ. Things that were popular, things that were good until they got popular. Next.
Live from the Calitrin Studios. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss. More of the Ace and TJ Show next. The radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
There will be a new edition of TJ and Jody's House podcast later this morning, and then all throughout the day whenever you want to download it on your own. And it's sponsored by Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture, with several locations throughout the Lake Norman area, but wherever you live in Charlotte and surround, they can take care of you. Beautiful furniture for all over the house, not just mattresses and box springs and stuff like that. They have all of that, and it's great. Very comfortable mattresses with the latest technology to keep you cool or keep you warm or whatever you want. The adjustable beds that they have there, as well as the dressers and the chest of drawers and all the other stuff. Then you can go into where they sell the stuff for the living room, and you would just be knocked out because it's so beautiful in there. And they're with the latest styles, latest fashions, featured on a television show called, what is it called? It's on the Outdoor Plus channel. Renovation Hunters is what it's called. So they're featured on that, and their design staff and all. So go to acetj.com/mattress, acetj.com/mattress for Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. Sounds like a sweet deal to me.
So we just had a week off of vacation. Anybody have anything earth-shattering, life-changing take place over the vacation? Well, I know Alexis moved in. We're going to get into that stuff a little bit later. Moved in with her boyfriend or whatever. Anybody else?
No, I was sick all week.
I did my garage one day.
Did what?
Redid it. Hung stuff in the garage, and just all I did was work at home the entire time. I did very little that you could be considered fun or exciting.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was not great.
Yeah, me too. I felt the same way.
Well, you got to sleep in. That's great.
But I got a lot of stuff done. Here's the thing, though, that kind of crept up on me because of being on vacation. Tomorrow is tax day. And I found this interesting. 52% of people say cheating on your taxes is always immoral.
Losers.
Yeah, 27% say it is sometimes, and 10% of people say that lying on your taxes is never immoral. That anytime you can cheat on your taxes, it's fine. Cheating in a relationship. 65% of people said it's always immoral to cheat in a relationship. 19% says sometimes, and 9% said never immoral to cheat in your relationship. And paying for relations. 43% of people said that's always immoral. 29% of people said sometimes, and 14% think it's never immoral. Downloading pirated stuff on the internet. 38% of people say that's always immoral. 33% say sometimes. 11% say it's never immoral.
Stealing.
It is.
You can't do that.
But how is that different from earlier? We had that story of the money lost on the highway, and the people called the cops trying to find out they'd give it back. And you were making fun of them, saying they were stupid.
I was making fun of them. I don't know if Riggins was.
That's fair.
Yeah, I won't let him take that one. That was me.
That's also illegal. If you stop and pick it up and then don't give it back to whoever it goes, it's illegal.
Finders.
So it's stealing.
Keepers. Mm-hmm. So.
Yep.
Okay, but it's still illegal.
You'd be fined in a jail cell.
Yeah. So is cheating in a relationship always immoral, Alexis?
Yes.
Okay. Is paying for relations always immoral?
Yeah, that's gross.
Is downloading pirated stuff on the internet always immoral?
Nah. Yeah.
There we go.
Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G. Just listen to the Ace and TJ show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So it is spring, heading into summer, and everybody's saying, "Oh, you're going to be in a swimsuit soon." But even if you're not going to be in a swimsuit, and then that's not what's driving you crazy. Let's just say that you would like to lose some weight just because you're tired of feeling dragged down, and you're tired of feeling bloated and lethargic, and all of the things that make you feel like you're not living life to the fullest. Then you need to contact our friends at Calitrin today and get Calitrin to be part of your daily routine. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. And they have many success stories, and you can see those on their website. And when you buy 3 months of Calitrin, you'll get 2 months free and then $21 off at checkout. So they are making it affordable for you, and they're showing you that it does work. They have the proof of it right there in front of your very eyes, and you will also be probably talking to some proof that Calitrin works, because the people at Calitrin themselves have used the product with great success. So very easy to find. Go to acetj.com/weight loss, acetj.com/weight loss for Calitrin.
TJ's talked a lot about how he likes things, and then once everybody else likes them, he bails on them because he doesn't want to like the same things that everybody likes, that the mainstream likes, which made me think of him immediately when I saw this. There's a thread online, people talking about everyday things that were good but went downhill as soon as they became mainstream. Some examples. The Food Network. People said the Food Network used to be great. Now it went mainstream. Everybody got onto the Food Network, and it sucks, and they bailed on it.
Well, that was the first one. Remember, I said it's nothing but contest shows now.
Yeah,
They're not really just cooking demonstration.
That's what they say. It used to be a good place to learn new recipes and techniques, but now it's filled with reality competition shows and over-the-top stuff. A couple of other cable TV channels popped up, but the Food Network was one. Vegas made the list. People said it became way more expensive and less classy than it used to be. Music that goes viral on TikTok. They say it used to be TV commercials that ruined songs. Now people hate music that's overplayed on social media. Again, these are things that were actually good until they got popular. And this one, I didn't realize it got that. They kind of lumped together garage sales, yard sales, and flea markets. They say now that reselling vintage things has become hot, the price for people's junk at their houses and all has skyrocketed, so nobody's interested in it anymore because of so many vintage stores and all that kind of stuff. Is there anything that comes to mind? Whether it's, I see this a lot. People think it's like with a band that you get it. You find a band a lot of times like you like in college. Like, this is cool. Then they blow up and become huge, and you bail on them. Like, that's not cool anymore. I know there are people, especially in this region, who became hip to Hootie and the Blowfish early. And then once they blew up, like, that's not cool anymore. They were cool when they were playing, college bars and everything.
I'm worried about something. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm worrying. I'm hoping that it doesn't happen.
Okay, TJ.
I was a Jelly Roll fan from the beginning of Jelly Roll years ago before anybody even had heard of him. And now he's got all this success, and mainly on country radio. And I hope that his music stylings aren't going to go now completely to the country audience, and still he's going to stay true to his rap type presentations and stuff.
So you're worried he might start pandering, and that would slide over,
Well, yeah, pandering, but I know he's got to make money. He's got to go where the money is. So I just hope that it doesn't come to just being. And it's great. It's better than any other country music on the radio, I think.
Yeah,
but it's just not what I want him to be.
I think you're safe for now because he just released a song with Yellow Wolf, so I think he's sticking to rap for a little bit.
But is that a Yellow Wolf song or a Jelly Roll
It's
song?
a Jelly Roll song.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And we can go ahead and get one out of the way. Facebook also made the list. Somebody said it used to be cool, but as soon as their parents started using it, which is what that's every social media platform. It was Facebook, then it was Instagram. Now, people too old to be on TikTok or whatever they're doing. It seems like every social media format, young people get it first, and as soon as your parents get on, it's like, well, that killed it. Let's go to something else. So at the Ace TJ show, it was cool. Well, it was good until it got popular. What's out there? It could be a person, actor, actress, entertainer, band, or just some activity that used to be cool, really good, until it got popular. At the Ace TJ show, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll get to them next.
From the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ Show. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss. Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G.
If you are looking for a place to take a great picture of yourself, that place is Fahrenheit in Charlotte. If you don't follow them on Instagram, it's worth following just to see how beautiful everybody looks. When you take your picture 21 stories above the city, I guess it does something because it is spectacular. Oh, and in addition to that, it's great food, great drinks, great atmosphere, and great service. Very few places have all four. They have them all. You can find out more at FahrenheitCharlotte.com. That's FahrenheitCharlotte.com.
Well, it's a special week because this week is 420. Woo! Did you just raise the roof, Alex?
Yeah.
Did I see you just raising the roof?
Woo, woo.
It is 420. And I guess the stigma is gone because every single fast food place, it seems like, has some sort of special on 420. If you don't know, 420 is kind of an unofficial smoking weed holiday.
It's a stoner holiday.
It's a stoner holiday. So if you go to Jack in the Box, they've got a Pineapple Express milkshake. Pineapple Express is a famous strain of weed. They've also got a Pineapple Express sandwich. If you go over to Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, they've got a $4.20 snack sack is what they're calling it. It's onion rings, jalapeno poppers, and French fries for $4.20. You can also go to Jimmy John's, or as TJ's wife calls it,
Johnny Jim's.
Johnny Jim's. You can get a $4.20 sandwich. It's called the Jimmy John's Munchie Crusher. It's got turkey, cheese, avocado spread, sliced cucumbers, mayo, oregano, and basil. And they add potato chips to it because, stoners love chips on their sandwich.
Love the crunch.
Yeah.
So 420 is what, Thursday?
Yeah.
420
Right,
on Thursday. Okay. So, the stigma's gone. I mean, all these big brands embracing the, weed.
Does that ruin it a little
bit? 100%. 100%. I was watching that video that we had on our YouTube channel of TJ going off on weed culture now. He was spot on. Not unusual, but on that one, he was right. I mean, it is just weird, just so into weed now. Everything's weed. This ketchup has weed in it. It's like, the ketchup has weed in it? There's a new restaurant in L.A. Everything, has got weed in it, even the condiments.
Is that do the
wild?
thing that you've always done. You knock yourselves out. Yeah. Just leave us out of it.
Yeah, I like it.
Stop trying to change everything into weed.
Yeah. But it's like, it's like the mom picking you up from carpool, like talking about weed. It's just like makes it not cool, like we were just talking about. It's just not as cool anymore.
Her mom eating Delta 8s.
Yeah, like, I don't like it.
Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G. Here's what's new today from the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Ooh, new edition of TJ and Jody's house coming up today.
Yep.
That's going to be available starting at live at 11 Eastern.
Yes. So, the three people who watch it live, then they'll go tell other people, and then a bunch download it later in the day. So those three people are great messengers.
You can always find it as a podcast or on our YouTube channel. Ace TJ TV is our YouTube channel. Things that were good until they became popular. Man, and people are just harsh about these. One came up, youth sports. Said it used to be a fun way for kids to try something new, but now they're super serious, time-consuming, and too parent-driven. You know, a lot of kids stay away from trying. I'd like to try to play baseball, but it becomes a little bit too much. And food trucks made the list. It said now that they're trendy, they're charging restaurant prices. So the thing that they really loved about food trucks originally is not cool anymore. I love a food truck.
Well, what the food trucks are doing is they've been hit twice with, the economy being what it is over the past couple of years with inflation. So they're having to pay extra for gas to get the restaurant where you want it to be, and then having to pay extra for the food that it takes to make the stuff that you want.
But so I remember when COVID hit, that was a genius idea, because that was the only thing I know when I lived up in the high rise when COVID hit. They would just have, like, as a special treat for everybody, a food truck's going to be here, because I don't know how that operated, but the restaurants were closed. They were only doing takeout, but with the food truck there, you could go down and actually order and all that kind of stuff, and it was really cool. I think food trucks are great. Another one, Etsy. I don't know much about Etsy at all, but it said it used to be filled with people's talented handmade items. Now they're just reselling a bunch of stuff from Walmart and Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know about it. Amanda said Paramore, after they sold out on the Twilight soundtrack, their music quality and new stuff just tanked.
Rob's a big Paramore fan.
Yeah.
Haley said thrifting. You used to be able to get good deals and find cool things. Now every store has a couple dollars cheaper than when it was new. Sometimes you'll see the sticker and it's even more than it was from the store. And 3 other people went under that comment. Chris said the History Channel. It used to be history. Now it's just aliens and true crime shows.
It is a lot of alien stuff.
Which is odd.
It's part of history.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Duh.
Christine says TSA pre-check. To me, TSA pre-check is still one of the greatest things ever invented. The greatest $88 I've ever spent in my life, because I've never had to wait. It's never taken me longer than probably at most one time 10 minutes to get through the TSA pre-check line.
Yeah, but it has changed a lot since it first started, and people figured out, hey, all I got to do is have a clean record and $88, and I can walk through with my shoes on in this special line. So now it's getting more and more backed up, just like the regular. So
Which reminds me also of the blue check mark on Instagram. Before it was cool because you had to be somebody to get it. Now you can pay for it, so everybody can get it.
That's a real good one.
It's not the
Is it
same.
Instagram and Twitter you can buy it?
Yeah.
No. Alicia said flank steak. It was good and cheap. Then it became mainstream. Now it's so expensive.
Is it really? I haven't bought flank steak in a while.
She said apparently it's gone up in price since everybody started getting flank steak.
Because it's lean.
Somebody else on Twitter said tattoos, that they used to be something that only certain people had, and it was kind of a cool thing to do. And now everybody's got them, and it's really not that cool anymore because they're too easy to get.
Riggins and Alexis.
Whatever. I love being lame.
Lame.
I like all the lame things. So what?
So aliens are part of history.
Good comeback.
If I embrace
like being lame.
I love it. What else could you say?
I like being
Exactly.
lame.
And yeah, aliens are part of history.
Okay.
How do you think the pyramids happened? Come on now.
That was a show. It was like how the aliens built the pyramids. I was like, this is on the History Channel?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Which one has all the stuff about what is the channel? It's not Shark Week. To me, is one of those things that used to be super cool.
Animal Planet.
Yeah, Animal Planet. Thank you.
Discovery. Right?
Yeah,
Or
Discovery.
Discovery, yeah.
Shark Week used to be really cool, but now that when it first started, it seems like it was a long time ago when it first started, and now a lot of it is what would happen if this shark bred with a whale or whatever. Now there are all these weird things that aren't true anymore. And it used to takes away from how cool the stuff used to be when you could really see stuff about sharks that we knew was fact.
Yeah.
It's a whale shark. They already did it.
I don't know what it was, but you get the idea.
Shale is the Ace and TJ Show.
There's a new sport that's blowing up, and Las Vegas got their chance to see it in action. This is shocking and sexy all at the same time. Details now trending. Coming up next.
From the Calotren Studios, this is the Ace and TJ Show. Find out more about Calotren at acetj.com/weight loss.
We've got a charity called Peyton's Promise, which is super important and does a lot of special work, or we think it's special, like giving away $10,000 a couple of weeks ago to a lady who's using it to change her life and the lives of others. But none of that would be possible without the great sponsors of Peyton's Promise, like Bradham Brothers Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. They offer heating, air, and electrical installation and service that you can trust. And this is that time of year you start checking out if that air conditioner is going to work right. You're going to need some help. Going to need to have it cleaned out. Going to need to have it serviced. This is who to call because they've been around for over 50 years. Top quality trained products, and they take pride more than anything else in the level of service that they provide. You can go to BradhamBrothers.com, BRADHAM Brothers.com to schedule service or for a free estimate today. Bradham Brothers.
This guy in Minnesota is 5 feet, 5 inches tall, and he says that hampers his being able to get a date. He wants the ladies, and he wants to be taller. So he did all of these things where he went to spiritual healers and he took medication that was supposed to make him taller and all that. And you know what? It didn't work.
None of it worked.
So he saved up $75,000 and had a cosmetic procedure done to his legs where they broke his legs and then added extenders like metal bars into his legs. And that those particular types of bars grow tissue around them and all that. Just like if you had to have, a rod put in your hip or something, it's the same kind of stuff. So got him from 5'5" to 5'8". But then you know what he said? He said that's not enough.
He wants to be bigger?
So he saved up another $100,000, almost $100,000, to go in for the second surgery. And with the second surgery and some sort of a stretching, lengthening device, they're saying that he could get up to 5'10", maybe 5'11", and he said he'll stop at 5'11". Now, what if that the tall version of him still doesn't get any ladies? Where's he going to go after that? Where is he got to go? And that's what happens a lot of times when you get so focused on something and you come up with what it is in your head that's causing you not to get what you want, get accepted by others and whatever, and you change it and you go through these radical changes in your body and some of them irreversible and all, and then you find out you're still not happy. That's the sad part. It ends up in suicide a lot of times. So let's hope this works for him so he doesn't go there.
ACE-TJ 5G. There's a lot happening with the radio family. Here's what's new today from the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
We mentioned TJ and Jody's house, live at 11 Eastern. Then available after that as a podcast on our YouTube channel, Ace TJ TV. There's a lot of new stuff happening every day, including our daily videos up at Ace TJ TV on YouTube.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
There's a new sport for women that is blowing up. We'll get to that in just a second. But just a couple of things from over the weekend. Coachella happened. 2 nights of the music festival happened in California. All the celebrities were out at that. Looked like a fun time. If you're into music festivals, to me it seems like the worst punishment I could face is having to go to Coachella with all those sweaty people and hippies and
that's just the celebrities.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea is that they look gross and like jewels on their faces. It's just weird. But also over the weekend, on Friday afternoon, Anheuser-Busch, the CEO, put out what a lot of people said was an apology. Some people said there was no apology, but I don't think it was meant to be an apology. It was a statement. And he basically says, we never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. We're in the business of bringing people together over a beer. Now, this is obviously just some of the fallout from the partnership that they created with Dylan Mulvaney, who's a internet influencer, and it did not go well for the company. There was a lot of backlash, but it obviously forced the hand of the CEO to put out a statement on Twitter and all social media about it. And then I saw on Friday afternoon, Bud Light's Twitter account just posted TGIF ? obviously a tongue-in-cheek response to sort of the controversy that's been surrounding the brand for the last couple of weeks. Did you guys see any of this?
No.
No, my favorite thing about it was just the number of people on Twitter. I like the women pointing out their accomplishments. Like, I've been a woman for 23,000 days, and I've had these kids and all that kind of stuff. Like, good for them. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Dylan Mulvaney, remember, he's not saying that he's a woman. He's saying he's a girl.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was celebrating his first year as a woman
As
is
a
why they
girl.
did the okay.
Yeah, it's 365 days as a girl.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
So a lot of people were saying this is not an apology, and I thought, well, I don't think they meant it to be an
Probably didn't mean
apology.
it to be. Exactly.
They were
It was
just
an
saying
apology,
this
yeah.
is what happened.
Yeah.
Well, they meant it to be something that was going to soothe the feathers of those who are upset or offended by it, while not ruffling any feather on the other side that they were catering to begin with.
Okay.
So they're trying to put it in the middle, and let's just all get along.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it. And I know Rob might be excited. Taco Bell announced the Beefy Crunch Burrito is making its triumphant return this August. They did a vote on their website and on social media. Which Taco Bell item would you like to see back? The Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Taco or the Beefy Crunch Burrito? And the Beefy Crunch Burrito got the majority of the votes. So that's back in August. Rob, are you excited about this?
I voted for the other one, so
The Cool Ranch Doritos
Yeah,
Locos Taco.
that was a
Yes,
good one.
that was a great
it was a 40
taco.
to 60 vote, so it wasn't really even that close.
I don't think I've had either of them. You're saying the Cool Ranch Doritos
I love
Locos
that
Taco is a good
Oh, I
item?
loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this beefy crunch, is it spicy?
Yes, it has
see, yeah.
the flaming hot Fritos are in it.
I don't know if I'd like
Even
that.
hot Fritos in the burrito?
Yeah.
I've never had that, so I don't really know. But I know that the Cool Ranch Doritos Loco Taco, it was awesome.
But I just absolutely love that they're trying to bring back both of these old school traditional Mexican dishes.
It's true. Something authentic. I love that. And then you might have seen this video circulating on TikTok and things like that. There's a mixed martial arts league based out of Romania. I think it's called RXF. They're the ones that created those slap fights that you see now with those big guys slapping each other at a table, like an arm wrestling table. Well, in Vegas recently, they had women get into the octagon, a cage, and do a version of that. It's a butt slapping contest. And these women slap each other's butts so hard, they leave bruises, welts, and then for some reason, after the butt slapping is over, they kiss each other. I don't know.
Stop. This is the most ridiculous thing in the world. What?
I thought, well, you might have an argument that this is like a legit sports competition, but why are they kissing afterwards? What? We're now blurring the line between sports.
They wear thongs and just bend over. And then they just take turns slapping each other
hard.
Yeah. And then they even chalk their hands up and everything. And then at the end, they fist bump and kiss each other real fast.
Yeah, at that part I didn't totally get.
But you know what?
But they are pretty.
That's no more idiotic than the original two men standing there just taking turns slapping each other.
You think?
To me, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life.
I would agree. It's also no more idiotic than that lingerie football league. I don't even know if that's still a thing. Remember they had that a few years ago?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. That's just, I don't know.
They're
real competitors.
They're not bad players.
I'm not saying they're bad, but they're playing. They don't need to be playing in lingerie. I don't know.
Well, but I mean, to me, this is just like Neanderthals standing there. You slap me, boom, I'm gonna slap you.
That's how I feel about food eating contests. I think they're so stupid.
Oh, no,
So dumb. No, they're not.
Sometimes it's pretty cool. It's like you're just like, wow, I cannot believe this is happening.
Joey Chestnut.
When you watch a guy down 75 hot dogs in 2 minutes,
I would rather
it's
die.
amazing.
It's just because you can't do it, Alexis.
Yeah, okay. Gross.
Yeah, you missed Rob. He ate a bunch of bananas one time.
No, I was there for that.
saw
And I
that?
wanted to almost throw up.
It was rough.
That's tough. So it's just something to look forward to this year. And those are a few things that are now trending.
So something big, something huge has happened in a member of the Ace and TJ show's life. And it is something that we kind of thought was coming, but didn't know exactly when and whether it actually would. But it has come. And we will get the full story of it, how one member's life has changed, coming up next.
Live on your radio and anytime you want us, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show. Radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
Let's go boom.
If you've got a business you need to advertise, you need everything from the creation of the ad to where to use that ad, how to get it out there to the most people. We can handle that with the Ace TJ Media. Ace TJ Media. Go to acetjmedia.com.
So they surveyed over 1,000 people. How's the world going to end? 44% of people think artificial intelligence will end humanity. The number one answer, nuclear weapons. 70% of people think there's a good chance that'll take us down. Another world war, 67%.
See how we combine those two.
Yeah, they would. You're right. Armageddon or an act of God, 62%. A pandemic, 56%, followed by climate change, an asteroid, AI, and a global inability to have kids, like in The Handmaid's Tale. Is that what The Handmaid's Tale is about? I never really watched The Handmaid's Tale. Is it about a global inability to have kids?
Something like a war happens and there's some sort of disease that affects before the show starts. Mm-hmm. Some sort of illness, like a plague.
And then they ask people, how long do you think we'll be around? Like, do you think the world will end in your lifetime?
No.
I hope not. That's scary.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Do you, TJ?
Possibly, but I would lean toward no. I'll probably just miss it.
18% of people said they think the world will end within 10 years.
No, that's horrible.
But another 18% said, oh, the world's going to be here at least another million years.
Yeah, that sounds like Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I'm going to take a nap. The world's about to end. So
You gonna take a nap?
Yes, I just.
So that's what you do. They find out like, hey, we got like 8 more hours of the world. You're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah, because then that way I won't be around for the end of it. I'll be asleep.
Yeah. Right. And then if you pray and ask forgiveness and all of that stuff and then take a nap, you won't be out doing any more sinning.
Exactly.
That you'd have to get forgiveness for when the earth blows up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
You know what? That makes a lot more sense now that you put it that way. Yeah, if you just pray and ask for forgiveness and then go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Just miss it.
So nothing, you couldn't do anything bad. You'd have to ask for any more forgiveness at that point. Huh. Mm-hmm. What else would you, there's nothing, 8 hours left in your life, Alexis. Is there one thing you're like, I'm going to have this meal?
Yeah, I would eat something super delicious and then probably cuddle with my cat.
Roll a fatty.
Roll a fatty. Smoke it down.
Smoke it down. End of the world. What's up?
Exactly.
Ace TJ 5G. Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show.
The Ace and TJ app is possible thanks to Papa John's Pizza. They've got the new Papa Pairings. Combine 2 of your favorites, you get them for just $6.99 a piece. So a pizza, a couple of those Papa Bites, it's a perfect combo. Order online right now, papajohns.com.
So we have been gone for a spring break. We celebrated Easter during our break, and nobody had any real big vacation stories. Riggins was sick the whole time. Rob had some personal stuff going on. Played some board games. Everybody was low key. Ace cleaned out his garage. Big time stuff. My wife and I were, just hanging out at home, and then for a couple of days we went and visited our friends in Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. But Alexis had the most exciting week of vacation, because what did you do?
After 8 years of living by myself or with girl roommates, I now live with a boy. I moved in with my boyfriend, Khaleesi, my cat, and I moved into their apartment. Him and his 2 dogs.
Okay. So, meaning that half of the people on our show who are in committed relationships are living in sin. That would be Tech D Rob and Alexis are living in sin with other fornicators.
Welcome to the sin life.
Thank you. I've been about this life.
So, how did it all come about? Because we didn't know you were doing it this soon.
I didn't know I was doing it this soon either. So I was in a lease in my apartment until April of next year. And Jay and I had briefly talked about moving in together and the benefits of it, but I was locked into a lease. So I went into the apartment complex last month and trying to see what options I had. And there was really no option. I was going to have to pay about $5,000 to get out of my lease. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. We'll just see what happens. And that same day, one of the girls at the apartment complex texted me, and she said that she wanted the apartment for her side business. She does corporate leasing. Then it turns out that they let her go after she had already told me to start packing my stuff. So I'm in the middle of packing, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do now? But the apartment complex still allowed me to get out of my lease.
That was good of them.
That was very good of them.
Well, they had
Because
to when
she was
somebody's already told you that, right?
Right.
Yeah, she was an employee of theirs at the time, and all that. But yeah, they could have fought it and said, take us to court, and you would spend money on attorneys and whatever.
Right.
else.
And paperwork hadn't officially been put through, so they could have said, well, nothing had been signed, and they didn't.
Right.
And I get my deposit back this way because before I wasn't going to be able to get my deposit back. It was going to be a lease takeover, and now I will get that money. So it's like a win-win-win-win.
Get that money.
My money. Okay.
So now how long have you been there now as an official tenant of the place?
A week.
Okay.
Yeah. A week today.
Any mistakes in the last time you lived with somebody that you need to make sure you don't make now that you learned from?
Well, the first time I lived with a guy, he was a bum, and I had to pay for everything. So that's not the case this time.
Right.
So the first mistake already has been covered. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And you got a lot of your stuff in storage.
Yeah. A lot of my stuff is in storage until we get a bigger place. Some of my stuff is there. He's already given me ground rules about being neat and folding my stuff every time I take it off. It's annoying. Mm-hmm. Not leaving things out on the counter.
So how long before we will be moving to a bigger place, as you say?
Probably in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I thought you were moving in last week. I thought you told us that. For some reason, I thought you were already planning to move in.
Yeah, it hadn't been, well, then that whole thing happened where they told me that the girl had gotten fired, so then I didn't know what was really going to happen, so.
Well, does anyone else have any advice for Alexis now that she's moved in with her boyfriend, Jay? A mistake that you made when you shacked up with someone that you would just say, hey, from my experience, don't do this, or do this or the other. Now, this is different than marriage. There's, people say, well, if you've been living together, so it's like you're married. They're two different things. And unless you've experienced one versus the other, you're going to just blow that off and say that's not true. But trust me, it is true. Living together and living together as a married couple, two different things. So when you moved in with a boyfriend or girlfriend, you made a mistake. What was that mistake that you would advise Alexis not to do? And it may not be any. It may be that they want you to make mistakes because they don't like you or stuff. So, that's always a flip of the coin there as to whether or not anybody's going to try to help you.
Right.
Try to help you live in sin.
Mm-hmm. Co-conspirators of sin.
Yes.
Whatever.
Walking around there. Just hopefully you won't be expunging a baby from your sinful womb.
Stop it. Don't even say that.
Well.
Don't wish that on me.
I didn't wish it on you.
Don't even put it into
wishing
the
it
universe.
against you.
Don't even say that.
I'm wishing it not on you. All right. So what do you got? Helpful hints through your own experience, when you moved in with someone. Send us a DM on social medias or put it on the front page at the Ace TJ Show. Let's go.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show. More next. Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G.
You've got a business, or you're the person responsible for keeping the office clean. Here's one company you need to know about, the Johnson Group. All they do is commercial cleaning. It's all they've ever done since 2004. They're sisters, Katie and Emily. One of the best parts about the Johnson Group is not just the fact that they do a great job, but you are always working directly with Katie and Emily. So there's no miscommunication as to what your needs are or how they're going to fulfill those needs. The Johnson Group handles over 15 million square feet of office and medical building space every single month. That includes Optimus Hall, all of the YMCAs in Charlotte, High Point, and Gastonia. These are the types of clients they can have. So you know they can take care of your needs as well. Office building, medical building, makes no difference. They've got you covered. All you got to do is go to acetj.com/clean. It's acetj.com/clean for the Johnson Group.
All right, here we go with zodiac signs being so important in my life now, and my following of astrology. Here today we have what pet do you need according to your zodiac sign? What pet is most compatible with you? We start with Ace's sign, which is Gemini, the pet rock. So you need a pet rock, Ace.
Does it say why? What that means?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we know. We know exactly why.
Geminis are noted for their keen intellect and caretaking prowess, prone to forgetfulness, outright acts of disappearance. The world is a better place when they choose an inanimate object rather than a warm-blooded creature to keep as company.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I need one less thing to take care of in my life.
Riggins is a Cancer, and his pet is actually not even a pet. It's a plant, a succulent.
Oh, that's succulent.
Mm-hmm. It's because, let's see, many species of succulents have sharp leaves or barbed exteriors that reflect the defense strategies in his cardinal water sign. So in other words, you're rough on the outside a little bit. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a plant.
Anybody want to guess what Leo is, which is Alexis's sign?
Is it a cat?
It's cat. It is a cat.
I know.
But I mean,
But Leo is a lion.
lion. That's
Anyway.
Yeah, but I'm living in my truth.
But I mean, that's kind of a gimme, though, isn't it?
You are
Look at the
walking in your
universe.
truth.
Yeah.
So mine is Virgo, and the perfect pet for a Virgo is a goat.
Why?
Let's see. It's a pretty long description. Like Virgos, goats require a lot of personal space and are equal parts curious, intelligent, and spiteful.
Whoa, you're a goat.
Nailed it.
Yep. That it's essential that goats have a companion, and even more so that affection is evenly distributed between the two. An emotionally wounded goat will lash out with sudden aggression if they feel favoritism is at play. And then some other mumbo jumbo.
You are pretty goat-headed.
Scorpio, Rob, is a snake.
Oh, no,
Yeah, get a snake. So that's what you got to do. Go get you a snake.
I'll pass.
Because scorpions and snakes are associated with evil, it says here. So being a Scorpio,
So
that's
Rob
what you
is
get.
now Rob's associated with evil?
Yeah.
That
He's
makes
born
sense.
under the evil sign of Scorpio.
Yep. I had a feeling about it.
This whole time you
Yeah.
know.
Always known.
Did.
We've always known.
Ace TJ 5G. Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show.
So we were talking about Alexis and her boyfriend Jay moving in together over our little break for the spring. And any tips that you could give for her to, with something you've experienced in your life when you moved in with somebody, and tell her to avoid doing this or whatever through your experience. We get this one from a fellow named Justin. Can't provide any advice for a life of sin. I hope Alexis can find the Lord and stop being a darned old W.
That is a little harsh.
Me and my boo eloped in Florida and started making babies.
Okay. Good for you.
Yeah. It's a joke, though. Seems like he knows the ways of the show. And he said, and kudos to Alexis for putting up with those fellas, meaning us, I guess.
Exactly.
Or maybe meaning us or every guy on your block. I don't know what.
Stop. He means y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there you go.
Rob loved that one.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Anytime it's anything about me, it's like he extra laughs.
He called you a W. I like that. He extra laughs.
He does.
Oh. I forgot about this. So Rob just sneaks a little something in a conversation. So Rob, tell everybody about one of the funeral you were at this last week, and how they introduced you and Meredith.
My cousin up in Virginia introduced me and Meredith to her best friend. She said, "Hey, this is my cousin Robbie, and his fiance Meredith."
Oh.
And
that wasn't the shocking part.
No.
This was just a little side comment.
Meredith was like, no, not yet. And I said, well, might as well be. And she, like I said, we're going to get married soon enough. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, he said, we're going to, I can't afford a ring yet that I want to get her, but I mean.
She wouldn't get one anyway. She doesn't like, she doesn't wear jewelry. So she keeps telling me not to.
He just threw that out there about, we'll actually what he said was, we will marry soon.
Yeah, probably this year.
That's basically a proposal that you just did.
There's a lot happening in this conversation. What is going on?
So that's a proposal?
No, not like specifically, but we've discussed it, and I've told her I said I'd marry you tomorrow if you wanted to, but.
And she said, I don't want to.
He said, nah, I'm good.
So there's a difference in a proposal and an accepted proposal.
No, it's not. And she's like, yeah, but we need to get some stuff sorted out first. So, yeah.
Okay, so as soon as y'all get some stuff sorted out, not going to be any fanfare and
no, it will. We'll get married
I have questions now, though. Like I got a lot of questions all of a sudden.
I think you're overthinking it because there's not really any.
Will there be but will you do like a formal? If you, I know you just said she doesn't wear jewelry, so you probably won't get her a ring.
I might get her a little something because I know she won't wear it every day.
Yeah,
and she's not concerned about it, but something. I don't know.
But will you then do? Okay, so you said by the end of the year you think you'll be married.
Yeah, for tax purposes.
Of course. How romantic.
So, but I mean, so you would you pick like, let's say in June, you would formally get down on one knee and ask her to marry you, and she would say yes, and y'all would just pick a weekend later and just go off and get married.
Yeah, the plan is we got the only thing we want is the party afterwards. Like we're gonna get married at a courthouse and then just have a party somewhere.
But the main thing you want is to be able to get up after you've gotten down on one knee.
So
you got that back problem.
I may have to do it from a standing position.
Yeah, do it from a stool, like a high stool.
I'm theoretically kneeling right now. I can't get back up if I do.
Yeah,
because I got a bad leg and a bad back.
I'm kneeling in spirit.
There you go. That's a better way to phrase it.
That's cool.
Wow,
that was awesome. Oh, and
that was a lot in like a 2-sentence statement.
Right, he just throws it out there.
What is that?
However, usually you don't think of funerals as being funny, but there can be a funny element here or there that comes about and all that. So, do you put the thing in that you told me, Rob, about the salute of the thing? Do you put that in a humorous category?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then we're gonna go with that next. Make sure I'm not the only one that thinks it's funny. Like I'm some kind of a bad guy.
You just decided maybe I should ask Rob if it's okay to laugh at this.
Maybe they didn't think it was funny.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it as a podcast. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next. on your phone, on your radio, in your car, on your iPad, on your computer. Anytime, anywhere for your entertainment. This is the Ace and TJ radio show and podcast.
Okay. The Tech D Rob had to go to a funeral over the break, on our spring break. And what was it? More than one funeral, Rob?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to both funerals.
That's right.
But my uncle Joe was in Virginia, and his funeral was on Saturday. But also on Saturday was my cousin that I used to live with. His grandfather's funeral was that day in the Charlotte area, and I didn't get to go to that one because I was already going to the Virginia one.
Okay, and the one in Virginia was a military-style funeral because your uncle was in the military.
He was in the Marine Corps, yeah.
Yeah. And those are really pretty, presentations and services and all of that. So it was inside.
Yes, we were at a funeral home. Mm-hmm. And so they did the normal funeral. The preacher talked about my Uncle Joe and some memories that the family had of him. And after that, they said, we're lucky enough to be able to do a military service type. I don't remember exact wording, but like that. So they had the folded flag and they start unfolding it. And it takes them a little while because they do it very intricately. And then when they get it unfurled all the way, they hold it for a minute. And I don't think everybody knew that the next step was the 21 gun salute, because it was behind us and we were indoors. So I don't think everybody thought it was coming. And it's just gunfire behind us.
Dude,
get out. And
wow.
I jumped out of my seat and Meredith beside me just goes, "Oh, Jesus."
Everybody's dropping to their feet.
Did the salute indoors?
I think they opened they opened like the back doors and we just didn't pay attention because we were, paying attention to the service going on.
Yeah.
But it was behind us and it was very loud.
And so they did 7 guns and they shot them 3 times.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
I
And they were shooting blank.
I didn't turn around because I was just like, "Oh, okay."
I've only ever seen that done at the graveside service, not at the actual.
Well, they had a tight schedule that day. They had to get Uncle Joe's, and then there's another one that they got to get to across town.
This is the Express 21.
Yeah, open the back door. We're just gonna blow it out here.
Here we go, real quick. All right.
I bet that was terrifying.
Scared the crap out of everybody.
Especially if you're not even expecting it.
I was like, "Oh, this is beautiful. They're gonna fold the flag up here in a second."
Let's get everybody's attention up here and then do it behind them. That's a good idea.
And was there a graveside service?
No, I don't think. I think he may have been. I think he may have been cremated.
Yeah, so that's the only time they could have done it.
They could have given you a heads up at the beginning, like, by the way, later on.
That would have been something, yeah.
So did people yell out, or were they?
Oh, I know Meredith did for sure because she was right beside me and she jumped all the way out of her seat and just yelled, "Jesus!"
Yeah, but
it's a good thing she was in the place to call out his name.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
There's big things to discuss today. We'll do Now Trending coming up next.
Share Funny is now a little extra. The Extra Funny podcast coming up at 9 a.m. live on the Ace and TJ app and anytime wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More show than you can get on the radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
Make sure you don't miss TJ and Jody's House, the podcast today. It'll be fresh. Furniture for the bedroom or the living room in your house. Go to acetj.com/mattress. Sweet dreams sounds like a sweet deal to me.
So earlier on the show, we were talking about things that were good until they got popular. And we've got a huge response on our social media. Things that were good until they got popular. One of the big examples was, and TJ's talked about this one before from a long time ago, the Food Network. People saying originally it was cool recipes and techniques and all that kind of stuff, but now it's just become a bunch of cooking shows, and people who loved it originally got burned on it. So a couple of responses that have come in. Number one response, MTV. Got it. But a lot of that is just times change. You get older. It has to change with the times, so it's not for you anymore. Might I recommend, probably can find, there are a couple of different variations of classic MTV if you like watching music videos on your TV, or you can look them up on YouTube. Charleston. Mandy said Charleston used to be a cool place to go, but now it's overrun with tourists, and it's killed the cool vibe that it originally had.
Is she from Charleston?
That I don't know.
She's one of the tourists then.
Maybe it was, yeah, that's a good point.
You ruined it.
Maybe it's your fault. Thrifting, we mentioned earlier. Teresa said TikTok. It used to be so good. Then they started making it just like any other app. Buy this, you need this. I enjoyed it most when it was just funny dances and songs. There's, and this seems to happen with all social media apps, a dark side that comes on now. People posting their, this is what it's like living with a narcissist. Or all kinds of angry things that are happening. This is when he punched my husband out. What he said right before, whatever. I don't know. I see a lot of that stuff. I got to get off that side of TikTok. I don't know. Yellowstone was good. Now it's not anymore. Red, white, and blue anything. I feel like I was wearing that stuff years ago before it became a thing. People have never worn red, white, and blue stuff.
Before 1776.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like that's an interesting one.
I've been dressing like Old Glory for 40 years.
Watching TV, Angela said. Which streaming service? Do you get local channels? It's complicated now, and it's expensive to have channels when there really isn't anything to watch.
Yep.
And then somebody pointed out Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and Myrtle Beach, all ruined.
Ace TJ 5G.
We have had some technical problems.
Hit it! You are connected to Ace TJ 5G. Ace TJ Riggins Alexis Tech D-Rob. Live from the Calatrend Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
I think probably could take my name out of that. I mean, they know who I am.
So what would it say?
It would just say everybody else's name, and then.
Oh, you mean not the Ace and TJ part, just where it names everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like if I went somewhere and wore a lanyard with my name on it. It'd be a little redundant.
Yeah. It's true.
They know me.
Yeah. You're right. Leonardo DiCaprio doesn't wear a lanyard when he's out promoting a movie, does he? Sure does.
Nope.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
It's actually a perfect segue. Leonardo DiCaprio was at Coachella over the weekend, and he was spotted hanging out with Bradley Cooper's ex, Irina Shayk, I think is how you pronounce it. She's obviously very, very attractive, but more his age. I mean, closer to his age than what he's normally spotted hanging out with. They said once women hit 25, they're out of his dating loop.
Oh, see, I read that
she's
wrong.
older.
I thought he was with Tina Arena.
Tina Arena?
Yeah.
Who was that?
She's a little older.
Is she?
Yeah.
I have to Google that after we're done with Now Trending here.
She's 55.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I know that?
She's an Australian singer. Had maybe one hit or so in the 80s or something.
That's a way to get back on the map. Start dating Leo.
Yeah.
Tupperware is warning it could go out of business. We use the word Tupperware to basically describe any container with a lid, but Tupperware is a brand. Mm-hmm. And I guess it was popular, in the 50s and 60s, like where they would have Tupperware parties, but they've fallen on tough times. I guess because everybody's just copied their thing. Like, everybody just reuses, you know, things they've gotten takeout and things like that.
You got the Rubbermaid stuff that they sell tons of that at Walmart and Target and all. Tupperware is a better quality.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a better quality product, but it's the better quality is unnecessary for the more expensive price.
Yeah.
So it's not, even though it's better, it's not better enough to make you pay more.
Mm-hmm.
That sentence was terrible, but you get the idea.
You got the idea, right? It's been around 77 years, so it's kind of sad that just, you know, it's a long-standing company that's running out of money and they're trying to figure out what to do. So they could go out of business. We'll see. Lindsay Lohan had her baby shower, and all of her friends and family showed up. Her the pictures. She looks great. So she's got her life back on track.
Yeah.
She's got to deal with Netflix. The last movie she did on there, the Christmas movie, was not well received. But listen, she's getting her life in order. Love to see it. Love to see her happy. And then on Sunday night, Phantom of the Opera had its last show. 35 years that show has been on Broadway, the longest running show in Broadway history. Over 13,000 performances of Phantom of the Opera. It finally closed. Wow. So you'll have to go find, excuse me, I'm a little ill today. You'll have to find some other show to go see. I think Cats is done too. I don't know if you can go see Cats. So Phantom of the Opera is another one. Have you guys ever seen Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah.
It was okay. Yeah. If you're into that.
I saw it at the Louisiana State Fair.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. It was a kind of a spinoff. It was called the Booger Man of the opera.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Off Broadway. A little more like it. We're going to talk about, we were hearing a couple weeks ago about Cadults. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Cadults. But we want to find them in the radio family. Maybe you're one. We're going to sniff you out coming up next.
Don't miss the Extra Funny podcast coming up at 9 Eastern, live on the Ace and TJ app, or download anytime wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ coming up. Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G.
If you're looking for pet care in Lake Norman, Concord, Mooresville, Davidson, Huntersville, or Charlotte, you need to check out our friends over at Fetch Pet Care. I know, Ace, you used them a few weeks ago to walk Toby.
The Thursday night of our live show. They're awesome. Yeah. They came and did... we did the little interview and everything, and now it's all set up. If we ever need anything, all we got to do is call them. They know where everything is. They take care of everything in advance. They were fantastic. Can't say enough good things about them.
Yeah, so go check them out at acetj.com/fetch, or you can give them a call at 704-493-1959.
Yeah, speaking of animals, I live in the suburbs now, so I had to find out where the emergency vet is, because that's something you want to have kind of like already in your phone book in case there is an emergency. You got to take them over, and I had to find a new one. So I started Googling around, and I found the emergency vet near me that's open 24 hours. And I was looking at their description on Google, and it says, like, here's the address, here's the phone number, here's the email address, identifies as woman-owned business. And I thought, well, thank God, because I was going to let my dog die in the parking lot if this emergency vet wasn't owned by a woman. There better be a woman running this operation, or else I'm going to let him die right here.
Yeah, when you're going to the emergency vet, does it matter? You don't care. You just want to get an emergency vet. Nobody cares if the vet's male or female or anything.
Do they do non-emergency things too?
I don't know.
Yeah, because if they do, then people would care. And they would choose. But I always go, hey, you're trying to help women, but how many women depend on the man-owned business, like wives and daughters? If the man owns the business.
Yeah.
He's got a wife, he's got daughters.
Sure.
They have to starve now.
Yeah, because and I like that they were like, identifies as. They're like,
right. We're not really.
We're not really. We're owned by a dirty old man, but we identify as a woman-owned business.
That is the way that sounds.
Yeah. Identifies as woman. But it's like a whole category on the Google, when you look up a business and it gives you all their information at the very bottom. It says, identifies as woman-owned. And I laughed out loud. I said, good, because I was going to let my dog choke to death on a chicken bone right here at 11:30 p.m. in the parking lot of your business. But
and that's the only one close to you?
It's the closest one, so I'm definitely going to make a thing about it when I can. If I ever have to By the way, can you confirm that you don't just identify as woman-owned? I want to meet the owner, and it better be a woman. O'Reilly, you're dead meat.
Dunzo, bud.
You're dead. D-E-D,
Could have saved
dead.
you, but it didn't work out.
Sorry, buddy. I'm not going to those guys.
Just you and us. This is Ace TJ 5G. Miss any part of today's show? Don't. Just download it wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ radio show and podcast.
Whoop. All right, so they did the survey of 2,000 parents with kids between the ages of 5 and 17. 78% of the parents said their kids have what they call a mature palate. They like eating things that aren't typically made for kids. Steak, baked potato. I find this hard to believe. I don't know. I know we weren't eating steak when I was a kid.
Well, my friends Glenn and Jodine are fancy people. Y'all have met them. They're fancy people. And they have a daughter who's 17. And since she was little, it's the only child they have. Since she was little, she has gone with them to fancy restaurants and eaten fancy foods. And it has been sometimes when she was little, it was so weird to see her sit, and order the surf and turf with the steak medium rare and the whole thing, just like a little adult.
Whoa.
And she's always eaten that way.
That's how it was for us too growing up.
Really?
Yeah, my brother and I, we always had steak or we never had kid food.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what do you do? Yeah, growing up, steak was always a treat. Birthday, I wanted to go out and have a steak. Or if we were going out for a special occasion, we went out and had steak. It was a big thing. But every other meal was, we would have a lot of pork chops and that kind of stuff. But then, as kids, hot dogs, hamburgers,
So there's something, it said 8 and 10 parents said their kid has a mature palate. Now, I know, we like to poke fun at Rob. He's got he's not had a lot of fruits and vegetables in his life. He likes what some would call a kid style menu, right, Rob?
I would say that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it says chicken tenders, hot dogs, pizzas, corn dogs.
Which are all delicious things, but not a mature palate, I guess. So adults have been in the news lately. Toy manufacturers are saying that the people buying their products are not parents. A lot of them are millennials and aging Gen Zers. So a big portion of them. So we're looking for some adults in the Ace and TJ radio family. How could you be described as a adult, or why would you be described as a adult? An adult who has somewhat childlike or kid-like interests, fascinations, things like that. If you've got more than one graphic T-shirt with a superhero on it, for example. Or maybe you
for example,
I don't know. Or you eat chicken nuggets and corn dogs every single day. What is it? At the Ace TJ Show, we'll find out. The Kidults coming up next.
Don't miss the extra funny podcast coming up at 9 Eastern, live on the Ace and TJ app, or download anytime wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ coming up. More show than you can get on the radio. This is Ace TJ 5G.
You're looking for something great to do? It doesn't matter. Whether you want to be indoors, outdoors, makes no difference. Gaston County has something for you. And the weather is perfect this time of year, especially if you love being out hiking, zip lines, adventurous things, or just getting outside and doing some great shopping. There's a little bit of everything, and I mean everything. You will be shocked. Go to acetj.com/Gaston. That's acetj.com/Gaston for a full rundown of all of the great stuff there is to do throughout Gaston County. Like we said, there's great shopping. One of the things that makes the shopping great is all different types of shops you can find in the different little towns throughout Gaston County. Plus, the Whitewater Center and Crowder's Mountain. The Ridgeline Craft Beverage Trail is just spectacular because you can go there and find out about all these different locations with distilleries, breweries, wineries, vineyards, whatever the proper word would be. Is wineries a word? I don't think
Winery.
so.
Yeah, it's a word.
Winery? Okay. But you'll love it. There's something there for everybody. No matter what it is you want to do, whether it's with your significant other, with your family, with your friends, it makes no difference. acetj.com/Gaston. You will find a great way to make a great memory with your family, friends, whatever, in Gaston County.
So we have a friend, and his name is Mr. Todd. Mr. Todd does all of our video work for our various podcasts and different shows and all of that. Mr. Todd, we pick on a lot because he is a voice texter. A lot of times, instead of sending the written word in a text, he sends the spoken word. And we mess with him about that, but it turns out he's ahead of his time because the Gen Zers are moving toward preferring the voice memos and voice texts. So they're more personal than text because you can hear the person, but unlike a call, which they hate phone calls, they do not like them. Unlike the phone call, you can respond whenever you want.
It makes sense.
Now, the only thing I have about it, though, that is different than a text of a text is that it goes away. And I can't, if I don't respond right away, then I miss part of it because I can't go back and read exactly what they said.
I'll give you something else.
So,
I can read your text message to me faster than I can listen to your voice memo because your voice memo, you're going to ramble and maybe throw some extra stuff in, but that you don't do when you text. And it's easier to review facts in a text message than it is in a voice memo. Because if you miss something, then you've got to go back and wait through go find it in the voice memo again. When if it's a text, you can look right at it and go, oh, there's the information I'm looking for.
yeah. But you and I don't have to worry about it, Ace. This is for Gen Z people. So,
Right.
I mean, we can just set it up to where we're not even allowed to accept voice texts on our phones. Do they do that? Can you have that feature on a Jitterbug?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it.
Because I don't want it.
No. Don't do it.
Because I don't know why they would like that better because they hate voicemails.
Oh my God, who doesn't? Come on, you guys don't like voice. Who doesn't?
No, I don't.
I don't
I'm
like
just saying, but
voicemails
but we're talking about younger people.
Someone leaves a
understand.
voicemail on my phone, I get anxiety.
But that's to me that reminds me of a voice text. It's almost
Agreed.
like a voicemail.
I agree with you 100%, TJ.
But it's the call first, and that already is like, oh,
I
God.
hate
And then
it.
a voicemail,
I
you're like,
hate-
leave me alone.
Stop. I can't deal.
But a voice text, you still have to listen, just like a voicemail.
Yeah, but you can take your time responding.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Ace TJ 5G. Share Funny is now a little bit extra. Don't miss the Extra Funny podcast. Live every weekday on the Ace and TJ app or anytime wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Ace TJ TV. I was watching all the Share Funny episodes we posted over spring break last week. We were on vacation last week. They were funny. I was really funny.
Funny.
Yeah. You guys were pretty good.
But you were really funny.
You were really
Is that it? You were,
I got a good, fun time watching those.
you guys were solid, but I was fantastic.
I was great.
Thank you.
We're talking about adults. They've been in the news a lot lately. Adults that have childlike interests. How did that Oh, yeah, it was about toy buyers. The majority of toy buyers are just adults that want to buy toys, which is, to me, a little alarming. I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's like, I don't totally get it. But hey, listen, you're into what you're into. Who am I to judge?
It's what I used to call it was adult adolescence.
Yeah.
Or adults that don't really act like adults.
Yeah. Now there's a name for it in the media. It's
Yeah.
the cadult. So how are you a cadult in the radio family? We've got a lot of responses to these, and I'm not going to judge anybody, but I think they are funny. Hannah said, I'm almost 40, and most of my T-shirts have either cats or Snoopy on them. Most of your T-shirts? Cats or Snoopy? There's one great one.
There are so many of these.
Yeah, the one about mini... there's one that said, I'm 40, and my husband is 45, and we eat a lot of mini corn dogs. It's our go-to meal when I don't want to, or when we don't want to cook. We eat a lot of them. That implies that there's major mini corn dogs going down. Drew said I'm 32 with super expensive Hot Wheels. Those are the little toy cars.
Yeah, I would love to know what his super expensive Hot Wheels are.
I didn't even know they had expensive ones.
Probably collector's editions.
Yeah, and like, what do you do? Do you go like choo choo, like vroom 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 vroom?
I don't know. Would you even play with those?
No, he probably has them displayed somewhere. I would hope in his office.
Oh
Yeah, my dad
In his fort.
yeah, like exactly in his pillow fort, and he's like jumping him over the coffee table and things.
He has the tracks, the Hot Wheels tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I did too, and those were sick.
Those are super sick.
I was 6,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know.
I wore Hot Wheels tracks out.
Yeah, those were fun.
Tiffany here said I still sleep with my teddy bear my dad gave me when I was 4, and I'm now 36. Does that count?
Yes,
Of course.
and I just imagine the smell of that thing, what it must smell like, and what it must look like, being drooled on for 40 years.
What does that little doll that you have, Riggins? Do you keep
It's
it?
not a doll.
It's a stuffed animal.
Watch your mouth.
It's a stuffed animal.
It's a stuffed animal. I don't sleep with it.
It's put away.
It's put away.
As a
It's a
memento.
keepsake.
I don't even like calling it that because that means I'm like, I don't know. Yes, it's stuffed animal. It's my childhood stuffed animal, and I just don't have the heart to throw it away.
Yeah.
I
No,
gave
you
it to
gotta
the
keep
dog.
it.
I thought, here's somebody that can benefit from this. And he started thrashing it. And I said, I panicked. I mean, you want to see me panic? I panicked. I went, Pan Pan. That's his name, Pan Pan. And I freaked out. But I don't know that that's
not
lawful.
the dog's name. That's the stuffed animal's name. Pan Pan.
It's a panda.
Pan.
He was thrashing us. You
Not
monster.
Pan.
Do you guys have anything like this that kind of? I mean, Ace, you're
Duh.
into professional wrestling, pretty hard.
But I don't own
Yeah.
really anything.
There's a lot of wrestling guys on
Yeah.
the comments. They're saying, I've loved wrestling since I was 10. I've got all the action figures. I
Yeah.
still play with them.
I have one action figure I got as a gift this past Christmas. My buddy Bird sent me. He goes, I saw this and thought this had to be you. And it was like a little Ric Flair action figure thing. And I was like, that's funny. So I have that. That's the only thing that I own. Well, that and my Ric Flair robe from Halloween a couple years ago.
Yeah,
but nothing I've had as a kid.
The longer he goes on, the more stuff there
And there's
is.
and there's also this and blah 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 blah.
No, that's pretty much it for wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
Wrestle.
You know why?
Why?
Because I'm a man.
I'm 40.
I'm a man.
Yeah, what do you have, TJ? You got something
Nothing.
that's kid-like?
No.
I bet if I think about it long enough.
His love of snacks.
Yeah, that's good. What does TJ have?
Nothing, I'm telling you. I get accused of acting too old all the time.
Yeah. Alexis, do you have anything like this?
A lot of things, but the biggest one is my coloring. I have about 20 coloring books at this point and different types of colored pencils and crayons.
That's true. She was talking about her new colored pencils.
I love it.
Now that you and Jay have moved in together, has he put any kind of like, look, if you're going to color, like we got to keep these things picked up, or they can only be, you only color here at this table, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I have it all organized, but he loves coloring too, so.
Right. And is your table a lot lower to the ground than his?
And I have a plastic chair.
Sitting off to the side from the other table.
Get Ace and TJ anytime, anywhere, at your convenience with the Ace and TJ Show podcast. Available wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ is next.
I made that part up. I don't know that that's true, but he was excited to be out of the house, and he likes coming up to see my place. And when I got back, I was like ready to crack some beers because we were off the next day. And I said, Dad, you want a beer? And I had clearly just woken him up. He fell asleep in my house on the couch, and he was watching the Hurricanes game. And he was like, no, I don't want a beer. I'm going home. So I said, do you want something to eat? And he goes, no, I brought a piece of chicken. I said, what? He goes, hey, I brought a piece of chicken from home. I said, and I looked in the trash can. There was the bones of a piece of fried chicken in a bag. He brought a Ziploc bag full of fried chicken and just ate it, I guess, standing at the counter.
Yeah.
And brought his Kindle with him. He's like, I had big plans to read my book and watch the Hurricanes, but I fell asleep during the Hurricanes game. So I just ate my chicken and fell asleep. I was like, you've been sleeping up here for 3 hours?
But he didn't want to take any of your food, so he just brought his own with him.
I guess so, yeah. I didn't see him bring the chicken in, though. I've never seen anybody travel with fried chicken like that. He crossed a state line with fried chicken in a plastic bag.
Worst thing you can put fried chicken in.
Plastic bag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where'd you get? Well, me and your mother had fried chicken for lunch. I said, you had fried chicken for lunch? It's going a little aggressive for your late 60s, I think. But he's in Florida. He's with my grandma right now, his mother. So he's 67. He still has his mom around. Isn't that kind of wild? She was 21 when she had him. Yeah. He's the oldest of 4 boys. And he doesn't have a lot of sympathy. So my grandmother's in surgery. She's in her late 80s. And he's acting like she should bounce back from this surgery she's had in a day.
What does he want her to do?
I don't know exactly. He's just got no patience for it. But I drove him up to the airport on Monday because my mom was supposed to do it. And he said, can you take me? I said, sure. So Monday morning, the day after Easter, the airport is slamming. The airport is slamming. And we're in the departures lane. He goes, just get out of this lane. Go to arrivals. I'll walk up the stairs. And I was like, Dad, I'm fine. I got nothing to do. I got nothing pressing. It's 8:30 in the morning. I've got all day. He goes, you don't drive to the airport. I do. I know how to do this. Get in the other lane. He was yelling at me. I was like, okay, all right. So I got in the other lane. He's like, park behind that white SUV. Boom, 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 pull over. I mean, he was right. And then he's just a wild man. That's wild.
Ace TJ 5G. The Extra Funny podcast is live every weekday at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Ace and TJ app and available anytime where you get podcasts. Now, more Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So there's a woman named Marilyn. Marilyn. She's on TikTok, Marilyn XOXO. She's a Hooters girl. And she recently joined a Hooters beauty pageant. But she did something that no other contestant in a Hooters beauty pageant has ever done. She got into the pageant with tattoos all over her stomach. I didn't know that was a rule that has since been discarded, but Hooters girls were not allowed to have tattoos on skin that was showing in the restaurants. Unfortunately, she didn't win. She got the 3rd place trophy. Now, the biggest loser. I mean, have you ever won an award and it made you still feel like a loser? Like you got 3rd place at your local's Hooters beauty pageant? To me, that would be devastating.
So how many women compete on the local level?
I guess, more than 10.
So I wonder if every server has to be in the pageant.
I don't know. I can't imagine they would force you to enter a beauty pageant, but that's one of those things, like you won 3rd place, but I would feel not good about myself for some reason.
Would you feel worse about yourself with that, Riggins, or if you were part of one of those bachelor auctions and didn't get much money at all?
Yeah, I think it's
bid on you.
That's a good example. I think it's kind of the same thing. Or losing, a coleslaw wrestling match at Myrtle Beach. Like you've already kind of put yourself on display in this kind of unflattering way to me, and then you lost on top of that. That just seems like a double kick to the pants.
So you're trying to tell me that you, Riggins, don't believe that wrestling and coleslaw is dignified?
Yeah, no.
Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I'm comfortable in saying that. It doesn't seem like a dignified act. But as an adult, I don't know. Now, I don't have any trophies from I did not win many trophies as a kid. You guys did.
Tons.
I know. Well,
had to have a a special room built onto the house.
Yeah. Would you still display the silver, bronze, third place, second place trophy? I mean, is that
Of that particular contest
Yeah.
or any type of pageant?
Yeah.
As an adult,
No.
third
Ricky
place?
Bobby, if you ain't first, you last.
That's kind of what I feel like. And you're in the local Hooters beauty pageant and you got third place.
But I mean, if you got a bronze medal in swimming in the Olympics, you'd display that.
Sure, yeah, the Olympics seems different.
yeah, there's a big difference between the Olympics and your local Hooters pageant.
Yeah. And she was very proud of it. I mean, God bless her. Like, I wish I had that confidence. But she's like, and I have tattoos, and they don't normally allow tattoos. Like,
That's how hot I am.
another, you know, another feather in the cap kind of thing. It was like, wow. I admire the confidence. I like that. Do you have any trophies, Alexis?
No, I won one time like 4th or 5th place in science contest. Science fair.
Science
A
contest?
science contest. I was like, what is that? Science fair.
And she was homeschooled, which made it even worse.
Yeah.
She was the only one in the contest.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't even want to go to the ceremony award. She's like, for what? Like, you're in 4th place.
What was your science fair project?
How long it takes different bodies of water to freeze, like salt water, lake water,
That's a good one.
rainwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gray water?
Rainwater.
I thought you said brain water.
Yeah.
And so
It
your
wasn't
mom-
that great.
Your mom's like, I'm not going to
I
that.
was like, I'm not going to that. These kids are annoying.
4th place? That sounds pretty impressive, though. That's a good idea.
Sounds like your mom knew you were going to get 4th place.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a 4th place project.
Missed part of the show? Just download it. Get the Ace and TJ podcast on any platform. More of the Ace and TJ.